Sometimes in life things go wrong, and to you it may feel like it went wrong, but in the eyes of God it actually went perfectly. Now the reason why I say that is because many times in life, things that we think we want, they aren't good for us, and we don't really need them. And it takes a disconnect from yourself to realize when something is not good for you. When you begin to feel disconnected from yourself, that is an indication that you're under the circumstances of a situation that is not healthy for you. So when things don't work out, many times it's for your best benefit. Maybe there's something more that you need to learn. Maybe there is something that you're being protected from going through. Sometimes we can be very close to danger and not know, and think that something's going wrong, but it's actually going right. I'm also getting that things sometimes go as you, let me put it like this. Sometimes things go in a way where you least expect it to go. Now, when this happens, it's basically because God's plan for you is bigger than your plan for yourself. Sometimes you think smaller than what God thinks of you. And that's why it's so important to get in tune with yourself, because you'll be connected to the God in you. When you're connected to the God in you, you begin to see yourself in the same light that you are seen in spirit. Our spirit self is elevated beyond, I want to say elevated beyond the depths of our soul. And I feel like that in and of itself, I feel like I need to decode it, but that's how it just came to me. Okay, your light body is elevated beyond the depths of your soul. That's gonna tickle my brain for a little while. But anyway, the depths of your soul, the depths of your soul speak the truth. And the truth is ascension. The truth is how you break out of the matrix, how you break out of this dome that we're in. And it's really a mental thing. When you release your mind and allow your thoughts to run wild and allow your truest nature to be set free, that's when you become free. When you allow yourself to be restricted by the ways of society and what seems to be normal, then you become restricted. You'll be very restricted from expressing yourself the way you truly desire to. And that would take you away from being able to walk in your own authenticity, walking in love, and being able to reach a state of peace, joy, and tranquility. Okay. Where else are we going with the spirit? I'm not using cards. This was a download. I'm actually studying, and this download just came to me. So I want to share it with you before it slips my mind. So when things don't go well, don't dwell on it for too long, because sometimes the person that you might have in mind, if it's a person, they might need to experience something or heal from something or go through something in order to be in alignment with you. Because if it's a person that you wanted to have some type of relationship with and it didn't work out, many times it's like really saving you from a lot of heartache and pain, because if you end up with someone like that, it's highly likely that the situation will go left, and then it would be worse than you expected it to be, and it will really throw you off course. Okay? So it's actually a blessing when things don't work out. It's just that we're not taught to look at it that way. However, it doesn't mean that it's always end all be all with all relationships. It really just depends on the vibration. There must be a match, or at least a similarity in vibration for two atoms to come together, for two solids to come together. There must be, it's like the frequent, in order for it to work without any static and any friction, the vibration must match, because otherwise it won't work. So even if it's like an environment, if you're in some type of environment, like for example, work, I know many of you may have issues at work because you might, well, let me put it like this, you are on a different vibration than the culture. For some reason, it was hard for me to say that for a moment. It might be because I'm laying down and talking. But anyway, the culture of the environment at your workplace could be toxic, and that's not your energy. So you're on some like, look, I just want to do my job and go home, right? However, there might be some toxicity there, and I'm picking up some energy about like, I feel like favoritism, like some weird group talk going on. It just feels like you, and this is not for all of you, this message is like a side note, but some of you, it's almost like some groups or of individuals may make you feel some type of way because you're in your own lane. And, you know, anytime one or two act differently from the others, they're always like the eyeball out and looked at like something's wrong with you, but it's just that you're not with the politics. Okay? That can also be within the home for some of you. Some of you could be having some familial issues. And it could just be in life. It's just these experiences that you have when dealing with people. Sometimes people have trouble getting along with others if they move a little differently. When there's like when you want to move outside of the normalcy of the environment, you stick out like a sore thumb, basically. And for whatever reason, which is many reasons, people don't like to see something different from what they're used to seeing because they don't understand it most of the time. When people can't categorize you into a box to make sense to them, then they'll try to label you somehow. It's like they don't want you to be free. Like, who are you to be free? I feel like that's how a lot of people think. Who are you to be free? Because I'm not free. I don't move like that. So why are you moving like that? However, it would behoove of them to look at someone like you as an example that they can actually learn from. because people like that don't even know how they are so restricted from their truth. Like they don't realize that they're restricting themselves from truly expressing themselves the way they want to. And then a lot of times they'll like put up a wall by acting in a certain way that they feel others want them to behave themselves, just to get the attention that they're looking for in that moment. It could just be attention, or it could just be likes, or it could just be a money thing, especially on these platforms. Many times nowadays people are attracted to toxicity, and it has become entertainment. So when people have a high level of toxicity that they share, instead of like, and it's to each his own, I'm just making a point. When there's a high level of toxicity involved in a situation, people gravitate towards it more. If it has to do with sex, money, or substance abuse, a lot of times people gravitate towards it just because that's just the state and the condition of the world right now. So I feel like you're the opposite. I feel like you're in a place where you're wanting to improve yourself, and I feel like you're tired of a lot of the nonsense that's going on in society and in the world in general and in the minds of the people. And so you're in this space of separation because you're sifting it. I always tell you we're going through a sifting, and so you know that it's time to separate from who you know is not good for you. You'll know when someone's not good for you just because of their vibration. Like, what do they choose to do? How they live in their life? Like, what do they believe in? What's important to them? How do they treat other people? Like the people that don't show no love or respect to others and always wilding and don't have, like, you could tell that they don't really walk with peace. I feel like a lot of you don't want to be around that. And so many people are going to be offended by that because they're not ready to make that move. And that's okay, because we were all toxic and tripping at one point in life. That's just how it goes. It's just that some people are still there and they want to be there, and they still have, I guess that's just still where they want to utilize their time and space. And that's their choice, It is what it is. It's just that the person I'm talking to, you're over it. And it's like, many times I just feel like you get frustrated because you feel like things don't go the way you want them to. And you find a way to cope with it, and you do get over it. But that concept, it gets you down. You may start feeling like a sense of sadness when you really don't have to. It depends on how you look at it. If you just look at the situation as an experience, and that not everything can stay, sometimes things aren't meant to stay. However, if they are meant to stay, then maybe it'll come back to you, whatever it is that you want it, when it's the right time, I just want you guys to think about how important experiences are for you in your life and what they represent. Many experiences will prove to you the strength that you have within you, because many times you all have been through some situations that you didn't know what you were going to do, how you were going to do it, and what you should do, and you worked your way through. And that's like, I also, from what I'm getting from Spirit right now, it's like we have to go through very difficult moments in life to recognize the true nature of who we are on a holistic level. And these experiences also prove our human intellect, like what we have within our own technology. Our bodies, the electricity that runs through our bodies. and sparks from our minds so that we can make moves that we do on a regular basis. All of these experiences are needed because they're all necessary. And what seems unfavorable, most of the time it's a blessing. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's like you learn so much in those times that think about all of the things that you've learned. If you didn't go through the hard times, you would have never learned anything that you know now. So that would make you very simple. You wouldn't have the complexities that you have now. You wouldn't have them. They wouldn't exist because you would not have gone through enough to be a complex being, right? So even though it's a challenge to be thankful for the struggle, be thankful for the confusion, because many times in life, you get in these dark spots and it's just confusing. Like, what am I supposed to do right here? Is this I don't know what this is. I've never seen this before. And I don't think I really like it, but I know I have to deal with it because this is just what it is, right? And that's that space where it's either you're going to face it and do what you have to do, or you move towards some type of coping mechanism. And we know there's many of those, and you could, allow your mind to explore when it comes to coping mechanisms other than facing the problem. Because when you start being avoidant and you avoid an issue that needs to be confronted, then it becomes a wound, a void within your vessel, within your soul, that will affect you in the long term. So this is why when you feel as though things did not go as you would have wanted them to, many times you're being protected from a quantum leap, I'm hearing, that is not favorable for you. Sometimes one decision can take you way off course. Like, for instance, getting into a relationship with someone who is ridiculously horrible and you don't know, and you're doing everything right. You're, uplifting yourself. You're tuning into yourself. You're getting closer to what's the truth to you on your journey. Then you end up with the wrong person and they completely throw you off. And it's not beneficial to you at all. Then you notice years pass and then you think about what did I actually do with that person? And you realize that certain people are not meant to stay. And so them going their own way is a blessing, even though it doesn't always feel like it, because it's confusing. So I think that's it for this message. This is really about recognizing that the tough times in life are actually a blessing, because you really get what your soul needs, and that is to learn. If we just skate through this chaotic world without learning anything, we will continue to live a life of chaos without peace, in the darkness without being able to find the light within the darkness. Because in order to get to the light, you must go through the darkness. That's the only way. Literally, that is the only way. You must find the beauty of the light by walking through the darkness courageously, with the boldness that has been bestowed upon your head, your crown, okay? All right, so that's it for this message. If you would like to book a coaching call or reading with me, healing conversation, purchase any of my books, You can visit www.milkhoneyrose.org to do so. And I love you. I'll see you in the next message.